What's going on, YouTube? Decided I'm gonna do a quick boat walkthrough. A lot of y'all know I just got a new boat. It's been almost 2 months now, and I never really walked y'all through, so I apologize for that. But just want to kind of walk y'all through what I got, why I decided to get it, and how I like it so far. So I got the Ranger Z519. So it's about just a hair shy of a 20-foot boat. And I really like that length. It's able to fit in the garage. I couldn't really get a true 20-foot boat in my garage, so this was just shy of 20. And actually it has a few advantages I'll talk about, but got the Ranger, man. It boiled down to 3 boats. Top of my list actually was the Skeeter. So I was looking around for a Skeeter. I just could not find one that was under $1 million, even one that was slightly used. My second pick was actually a Phoenix boat. I was working a deal actually on a Phoenix, and a guy outbidded me. So it just wasn't my time with that, and I decided to go with the Ranger. And actually this is where my heart was the whole time. The big reason I chose a Ranger is because the beam width, it was the widest of all the 3 boats. So crappie fishing, that's important, because you know you got 2 guys on the front of the boat when I'm guiding. I got 2 people up there, so that deck space is really important. And also for safety, y'all know I got my son Ashton, the fishing boy, and this boat I heard nothing but good things about how it handles rough water. So I knew I'm gonna be going across some rough water, and I need the widest boat I possibly can. And so far so good, man. I've taken it out on white caps, all that, and this thing rides absolutely like a Cadillac. So really enjoy it. So just walking y'all through here. So on the back, I got that old Merc 225 on the back there. Man, that thing got a growl to it. It pushes this boat up close to, I've had it real just shy of 70, maybe 69 point something. Trust me, I won't be going that fast anytime soon again. But this bad boy can move, man. And y'all see I went and put the power poles on there. Another thing I went and got is the crappie brakes on there. And let me tell y'all, that is a game changer. So as y'all know, I do not only guide, I do a lot of tournaments. We actually getting ready to go up to a tournament up in Toledo Bend, leaving out in the morning. So getting everything ready for it. I've already taken it out there and tried them out. Man, let me tell you, those are some game changers right there. You talking about total boat control, and I absolutely love it. So I went and put the storage racks on there, and those really come in handy as well. They handle a bunch of big rods well, so me and my tournament partner, we won't be stepping on rods and stuff like that. So up front, I got 2 Garmin's. I'm actually running 2 live scopes on this boat. So dash had a big advantage as well, so I'll get into that in a little bit. But my bigger unit, my bigger screen, I'm actually running the new 34, and let me tell you, that is an absolute game changer, man. As a lot of y'all know, tournament fishing, man, we focusing on open water fish a lot. Suspended, open, we're chasing down crappie that's in the open water, and this thing being able to see out at the distance, it can see out and crystal clear. I see my jig dropping 40 feet away, 45 foot away, and I don't have to get up on top of that fish, man. So that thing right here is a life changer. And then this mount is pretty cool too. I forgot who I got it from, Fish Stop Obsessed or something like that. But what's cool about this mount, man, it actually pivots and breaks away without actually breaking. So if I hit a stump, because I fish a lot of standing timber in them tournaments, so instead of me snapping mounts, this just flips back, and I just take it out of the water, flip it back down, and it's good to go, man. So this right here, and it's a 0 degree because it's kicked out a little bit, and it's missing that trolling motor. So man, this thing right here has been a game changer. And I still run the pole. So I think one of y'all had reached out to me and asked how I got my pole transducer mount on the pole. So that's how I have it. I've had it like that for over three and a half years. It's at a fixed position. It can't be adjusted, and it's fixed perfectly, and it's right at the bottom of the pole, so it's a 0 degree as well. And man, I absolutely love it. So my co-angler, the advantage of this is my co-angler, when we own a fish, and you see I got this, I can take this out at any time. When we own a fish, the advantage of having that pole, and you guys that run poles, and that's 95% of the crappie world have their transducer on the pole, y'all can all attest, you don't lose sight of that target when you got that transducer on that pole. That's why I will not have it on my boat. A lot of the tournament guys on the trail that we fish with, we had the honor of fishing with a lot of the top guys last tournament at Palestine. All of them are saying the same thing. They have it on the transducer, in which if you're a tournament fisherman, this does give you an advantage, but that's just tournament fishing. 99% of the crappie world are not tournament fishermen. This I will highly recommend if you're thinking about live scope. This gives you the ability to never take your eyes off that target, no matter what your boat is doing. So therefore, when I'm on a guide trip, my customers, they can actually control that pole and never take their eyes off that target. And it gives you the ability to fish, to drop on that fish no matter where he is. If you overran that fish, or if you spot a target that's back behind the boat off to the side somewhere, that pole allows you to drop on that without even adjusting that boat. So I love it, man. Again, we do more open water fish in the tournaments, so therefore this is a lot more quicker and easier. Of course, I got the foot pedal, that old Garmin Bluetooth foot pedal, man, I'm telling you. And that's another thing right there I highly recommend, y'all. If you're really serious off into this, I graduated off that trolling motor remote a couple years ago when my tournament partner, I saw him with that foot pedal, man, and he was deadly with that. And I was like, man, I need to free up a hand. So I got rid of that remote. It was the best thing I could have ever done. And there's a reason why you won't see any tournament fisherman that has a trolling motor remote in their hand. They all have this. And when I switched over that and actually practiced with it, I can see why. This gives you a big advantage. You're able to make moves a lot more quicker. Your response and your reaction time is a lot better. And you're freeing up a hand. So you got guys out there that's advocating you gotta have it on this because you just occupying too many hands with that, but then they got a trolling motor remote in their hand, occupying their hand with that. So I'm trying to figure out how that all works. But I got both, man. I absolutely love it. Again, I do guide trips. My customers, they can lock on a target with the pole, or when I'm by myself, usually I just run the one that's on the trolling motor by myself when I'm just kind of open water fishing. But overall, great setup up front, man. It's a stable fishing platform. I absolutely love this boat, man. What else? You got tandem axle trailer. I'm glad I went with that versus a single axle. They did have this boat in a single axle, and I was going to get that because of my garage limitation. I'm glad I got this because this rides on the highway a lot smoother. And it balances this weight, I feel, a lot better. I could barely feel the weight of this boat on that truck with that tandem versus a single mount. Still got my old 10 Humminbird. Oh man, I'm waiting for Humminbird to start producing units, more Solixes again, because I'm gonna get side-by-side 12 Solixes up there. But that Solix right there with that mega imaging, man, I got that when it first came out. Man, that thing is so crystal clear. I'm talking out of the box, plug and play. That's a game changer. Because not only can I see crystal clear structure off the side of the boat, I can see fish on structure. I can see, especially now that I'm on roaming fish, I can locate the shad and the roaming fish. I can tell you how many roaming fish are off to the side of this boat, and I can turn around and drop on like literally 2 fish. And it's all because of that Solix, not because of the live scope. So that Solix has been a game changer because of the clarity on that. Other than that, man, that's about it, man. I love it. Again, with the power poles, I decided to go with the 10 footers instead of those 8 footers. And I'm so glad I did that because I'm able to anchor down in 9 foot of water, 8 foot of water, in which us crappie fishermen, especially in the summertime, and even in the spring, in the spawn, we can get in a little bit shallower water, but not too shallow. I like to catch them staging females that's in 6, 7, 8, 9 foot of water. Them 8 footers really didn't allow me to get there. So I went with these 10s, and man, I can anchor down on stuff and save that trolling motor power. But man, these crappie brakes is amazing, man. I got them mounted right to the pole. I'm gonna see, we got a stump switch right up here. We got a stump switch. And that's how you work them. They come on nice and quiet. Just ease them down in the water until the blade's clear, and that's it. So you got good storage in the boat, man. Live wells are nice. I actually got the real oxygen system in there, and it's cool because the oxygen system comes on by itself. It detects water and it starts dispersing like clouds of little tiny bubbles, and it just shoots them out by the millions. And man, them fish, I've never seen fish that alive at the end of a trip until I got this boat here. But all in all, man, great boat, man. If you're in the market for boats and you're considering Ranger, I highly recommend it, man. Again, I got it. You know, it ain't a speed demon. I don't know. I was doing my research on hull designs. I think if you're looking for speed, Skeeter, and of course Bullet and all them, you know, can't be touched. But as far as fishing platform, Skeeter is probably one of the well-known faster boats out there. But I like this one, man. It ain't no slouch. And this rides like a Cadillac, man. It handles rough water real good, so I love it, man. So we heading on out to Toledo Bend in the morning. Hopefully I have a good update from y'all. We didn't fare too well at Palestine, but we learned a lot, man. We learned a lot fishing at Palestine. What happened was we had all the pros show up from the other tournament trail. So Jordan Sanders, Rod Silman, all them guys, they showed up, man, and they put a whooping on everybody out there. But man, I learned so much from that, just from that experience. And guys, if you're fishing just your home lake a lot and you're locked in on that lake because you're comfortable there, I really encourage y'all to get out and start experiencing other lakes, man. Like, there's so much that me and my partner has learned during these this tournament trail, that fishing on one lake, this Lake Houston that we got down here, has taught us so many bad habits that we had to unlearn ourselves from, because Lake Houston is the polar opposite of all the other lakes that we fish. And you know, and I'll share with y'all the two main things that we had to unlearn ourselves from. One, brush pile fishing in tournaments has no place in tournaments. We learned that the hard way. So guys that's comfortable on like Lake Houston and Old Muddy Lake, that they can just park right on top of a fish, target range 3-4 foot out, you might as well not even show up at a real tournament, because at the real tournaments, those waters are much more clear, and brush piles are not the way to go. And we learned that the hard way. They're just loaded with medium-sized fish. We knew we had to change our strategy right away, and we learned actually that at Merval. We qualified for the championship this past season. We fished Merval. Day number 1, we took our Lake Houston mentality out there, and we got spanked. We fishing brush piles just because we went out there and pre-fished it and found some 2-pounders in brush piles. All them 2-pounders were gone and replaced with the local 1-pounders. So we were scratching our head. And then the second day, we completely abandoned that whole strategy, got out there doing what the pros are doing, and that is open water fishing, timber fishing, all that. And we weighed in, I think, the second or third best stringer that second day, because we abandoned all that Lake Houston stuff and got with the program, and we ain't looked back since. So again, I just want to share kind of what we learned on tournaments, man. We'll be applying some of those same principles, you know, at Toledo Bend tomorrow, although Toledo Bend is a heavy structure lake. But the thing is, you know, if you're really interested in learning how to open water fish, that's one thing you can do and practice on your home lake. And me and my tournament partner got the opportunity a few times over the last couple months to go out to Lake Houston, where some say it's impossible to find a Roman fish. Well, we filled up that live well several times with nothing but Roman fish on Lake Houston in the afternoon after work, limited out. So it can be done. My recommendation, again, with open water fishing, it does take practice and it takes scouting. You got to take that home lake that you're normally used to beating up brush piles on and eliminate that out of your brain. You have to be anti-brush pile You got to break down that lake, look at flats, look at where the shad are, things of that nature, and avoid structure and be committed to it. Don't be tempted to stop at some little easy brush pile, park your boat on top of it and drop a jig down. You gotta be willing to chase one fish for 15 minutes. And it pays off because those are better quality fish. And those open water fish are out there feeding 24/7. Don't let anybody tell you they just feed at night. That is absolutely wrong. Me and my tournament partner can tell you that, and the pros can tell you that too, because that's all they target. So those fish are out there feeding. You just have to be willing to chase after that fish. And he ain't gonna let you down. A crappie does not have a lot of endurance. That's one thing I noticed chasing crappie. He's gonna eventually stop and give you a chance to drop on him. You just gotta be willing to chase after him. So just wanted to throw that out there. I know I had some questions. Some guys had some, some questions about, how we were open water fishing and stuff like that, how we made that transition. And I'm gonna tell you, it just takes commitment, man. You just gotta go out on trips and just say to hell with brush piles, because that's the easy way out. And it's not as productive when you're trying to chase a big 7-foot fish stringer. That's what the pros do. So, but other than that, I get off my tangent about this open water fishing, man. Again, I'm gonna start guiding soon. So after this tournament here, mid-December, I'll have some open dates. Y'all just hit me up and we can go out and take a trip, man. But I hope y'all enjoy the boat, man. Hopefully I see y'all on the water. Let me know if you got any questions. Peace.